We're entering the third week of illegal blockades that have been disrupting the lives of too many Canadians. Here in our capital city, families and small businesses have been enduring illegal obstruction of their neighborhoods, occupying streets, harassing people, breaking the law. This is not a peaceful protest.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Anna's Thoughts and Musical Parodies, and I am Anna, your hostess. Thank you so much for being here today. If you would like to support what I do here, one of the best ways that you can do that currently is by donating to my Diaper Fund for my baby, who is due at the beginning of April. The link will be in the description, along with other ways that you can support and get some cool stuff for yourself or your friends or loved ones. Thank you so much in advance to anyone who decides to support, and now let's get all the way into the video. You guys, the Canadian truckers and their supporters of the convoy up there have been having a ton of fun lately, and it's driving Trudeau crazy. Take a look.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up, you got to pump it up.
Occupying streets, harassing people, breaking the law. This is not a peaceful protest.
From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
But in stark contrast to that, let's take a hopefully not too depressing walk down memory lane as to what the BLM protests were like over the last couple years here in the United States.
Images of protesters facing off with police are what many remember when they look at the intersection of 11th and Pine. The Capitol Hill demonstrations gained national headlines as police were directed to move out of the East Precinct, and protesters took over 6 city blocks for more than 3 weeks.
The first question is from Mia Rodson, the Canadian Press. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm wondering, a lot of the leaders or organizers of this convoy have asked to meet or at least hear from you about what's happening and their demands. Have you or will you or anyone from your government meet with them or negotiate with them in any way?
My focus is standing with Canadians.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but last I heard, the protesters in the trucker convoy up in Canada are Canadians, actually.
And getting through this pandemic. The way to get through this pandemic is to continue making the challenging choices and sacrifices as citizens, as individuals, as communities, to keep each other safe, to trust science, to trust facts, to continue being there for each other. I have attended protests and rallies in the past when I agreed with the goals, when I supported the people expressing their concerns and their issues. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that.
And protesters took over 6 city blocks for more than 3 weeks.
We're entering the third week of illegal blockades.
For more than 3 weeks.
But I have also chosen to not go anywhere near protests that have expressed hateful rhetoric, violence towards fellow citizens.
Oh, really, Mr. Trudeau? But I thought you just said that BLM is a great example of the type of protests that you support. And remember any of this?
With 4 shootings, including the death of 2 teenagers.
Enough is enough.
Atlanta's mayor says she is fed up with the violence on her city streets in the wake of the protests over the policing of Black Americans, and says her heart is broken over the shooting death of an 8-year-old girl Saturday night.
We're fighting the enemy within when we are shooting each other up on our streets. in the city and you shot and killed a baby.
Secoria Turner was shot near here, outside the Wendy's parking lot, where 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks was killed at the hands of a white police officer last month. People with long guns have taken over the restaurant and the street in front of it, and police let it happen. The girl was shot by someone there while riding in a car with her mother and another adult.
Help me, help my baby. She was only 8 years old. We understand the frustration of Rayshard Brooks. We understand. We ain't got nothing to do with it. We innocent. We didn't mean no harm. My baby didn't mean no harm.
Can you explain the reason why you won't participate or meet with them? I mean, you've attended rallies on the Hill in the past, including during a Black Lives Matter protest and others. Is there a reason that you can give as for why you will not discuss or have any negotiations with this particular group?
I have attended protests and rallies in the past when I agreed with the goals, when I supported the people expressing their concerns and their issues. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that.
I remember going around asking people, where did the police go? Are they coming back?
Police were directed to move out of the East Precinct.
When are they coming back? Like, it was just complete confusion.
Multiple homes and businesses have also filed lawsuits accusing the city of not doing enough to protect their property.
Black matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Look at me like a man! I matter!
This man and woman were enjoying dinner outdoors in St. Petersburg, Florida, when protesters, angered over the Breonna Taylor announcement, marched by and sat right down at their table.
This is my table.
What followed was a nasty confrontation. The woman called 911.
There's a riot going down, and they're threatening me. I'm trying to eat dinner, and they're at our table, and they're cussing and threatening me.
As the George Floyd protests turned destructive in parts of Manhattan. This is just a snapshot of some of the damage the people will be waking up to in Soho.
Last night, there was actually a shooting at 12:30 in the morning, right around the corner from where we're standing at Crosby and Spring Streets. A man in his 20s shot in the torso. And check out some of the destruction left behind. You see this police car right here that was torched amid those protests. We're standing outside the Bloomingdale's on Broadway right now. We also have some new video that we can show you from overnight of vandals in action.
Occupying streets, harassing people, breaking the law. This is not a peaceful protest. Canadians know where I stand.
How you feel about the gutless, spineless, cowardly Prime Minister Trudeau?
I have attended protests and rallies in the past when I agreed with the goals, when I supported the people expressing their concerns and their issues. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that. This is a moment for responsible leaders to think carefully about where they stand and who they stand with.
Yes, excellent point there, Mr. Trudeau. So clearly you are not one of those responsible leaders, according to what you've demonstrated yourself with your own words. So I hope that you will take that point to heart. And now let's end on a positive note.
Sean wants to know again, do you understand that because this started here, do you understand the extent that this has reflected on America, that an American convoy is starting, that the new people in New Zealand are rising up, that people in Australia
But this is a worldwide movement. I don't think it can be stopped.
Thank you again so much for being here today. Since you liked the video enough to make it all the way to the end, don't forget to click the thumbs up and share with somebody else who would also enjoy. Leave your comments below and we'll all have a conversation. If you really liked it, check out the link in the description for several different ways that you can support and get some cool stuff for yourself or a friend or a loved one. Have a wonderful night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time zone you are in, and I will see you next time. Bye.